I call the July 10, 2024 meeting to order. The time now is 6:35, right? Okay, please all stand and salute the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Could you have a roll call, please?
Mayor Park,
Here.
Member Kim,
Here.
Member Simon,
Here.
Member Luciano, Member Di Gregorio. Am I not?
I'm here.
Okay.
Member Begats,
Yes.
Member Liang.
And Laura, please read the open public meeting statement, please.
Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Law, PL 1975, Chapter 231, setting forth the time, date, place, and purpose of this public meeting through a legal notice published in the record, posted on the borough website and on the bulletin board.
Okay, thank you. Now the department head report. Would you come to the police chief first? Okay, come on.
Good evening, everybody. I have a very short report this month. The Palisade Avenue road closure in Englewood, the detour seems to be flowing fairly well. A little bit of an inconvenience for some of our residents, but generally we're doing the best we can with that. I had an opportunity to speak at the 8th grade graduation last month on the 20th. It was a very nice event, and grateful to the school for inviting me. I'm in the process of trying to plan our annual Cone with the Cop event, which will hopefully take place in August. And to the public safety chair, I did to that issue with the cars. I'm still waiting on the response from the prosecutor's office, but I did follow up with them. I will let you know when I hear further. That's all I have.
Okay.
Quiet.
Okay, go ahead. Yes, go ahead.
Chief, are you in the process of doing promotions or gathering information for potential promotions?
Yes, I announced a promotional process which will take place in September, and the spirit of that is just to have a list prepared for when the governing body is ready to act upon that list.
Are you going to share that list with the governing body?
Yes.
Okay.
When did that process start?
September.
It'll be in September.
No, when did the process start?
The announcement, a couple weeks ago.
Can you get me a date for that, please? I don't need it right now, I mean, just in general.
Sure.
Right, so.
Anyone else? No? Okay, thank you so much. And the fire department, please come up.
One more question, Mr. Park. Chief, I assume that it's been quiet in town, because I haven't seen anything on the safety app. So it's quiet for now.
No news is good news in my
Okay.
eyes.
That's all.
I'm sorry, I do have one. Since the last meeting, any calls with the establishment on the corner? Because you know this big thing about holding up their liquor license and all this other stuff. I just want to know, since we had any issues that we're trying to kiss and make up, have there been any issues?
Since the last meeting, one, yes.
I know they cut off the speakers.
They took them all
Well,
down.
that should-
Yes,
that
as
was
of
in our
June
ordinance. That
7.
should have been done before that anyway.
Well, after we met with Jerry, she
So
took
there
it
was
down.
one since then, chief, thank you.
Since the last meeting, yes.
Okay.
That was for a dispute.
Oh, dispute, okay.
Yep, thank you for that.
Oh, and Chief, Councilman, I would mention, I think Attorney for Lefkes is here.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Chief, can you,
Not yet.
I'm sorry to,
Not
that
to change my question.
oh, no, I'm just saying, if you had more questions
Oh, thank you.
for, related to it, the attorney might be able to answer your
I know
questions.
we're trying to, we're trying to work it out, I just want to, that changes it just by saying that, you know what, you're gonna have issues inside your establishment with people. I just want to make sure that we're on the right path.
Chief, I'm sorry to,
Mayor, may I be recognized?
Yes.
I'm sorry, Chris, do you want to go first, Chris, or?
It's okay, David, go ahead.
So, Chief, thanks for your report. I just want to say that I am for renewing the liquor license with Lefke's. It's wonderful to have businesses thriving in town. But if I could respectfully make a suggestion of having maybe perhaps asking your officers to circulate in these establishments and make themselves present maybe once on a Saturday night and a Sunday night. I mean, these establishments are attracting people from all over.
This is the
They
west side.
they are also have a lot of people in there, and there could be some issues and a police presence walking through the establishment. I remember when I used to bartend, the policeman would be, not, I mean, in my past life, the policeman would periodically be coming in there, and it was a very reassuring gesture by the department. So I offer that as a suggestion to, to keep an eye on what's going on. We don't know what's going on, what's being brought into town. And I think it would be a proactive way of showing showing the people that are in those establishments that there is law enforcement present. Thank you.
Mayor,
Okay, yes, go ahead.
Chief, I'm sorry to spring this on you without prior warning, but could you, I know you offered during the email the background or history regarding the noise disturbances that are coming out of this establishment. I myself am not exactly sure what the actual source is. Is it because of there's entertainment going on outdoors, or if you could just elaborate a little bit about that and brief us on
Sure.
it.
I had a feeling this might come up. So this is all of the calls regarding noise in the area.
In the area, it doesn't mean it's only them.
Correct.
Thank you.
So on occasion, it is actually Lefke's being the violator. Most of the time, they are compliant when we ask them to lower the music. Other times, it is coming from across the river, which we know is a problem. Some summonses have been issued. But it has tailed off in the past few weeks. But like I said, I have no shortages of complaints coming from that area. And I would say the majority of the violations are at Lefty's. Okay.
And is it because they're holding entertainment outdoors, or is it within a greenhouse that's not properly soundproofed, or do you have any insight into that?
I think all of the above.
Okay.
Even I think the music inside is so loud that even when like the doors open for people to come and go, it's that loud that it's as soon as the doors open, it's
Okay.
yeah.
And it's a nightclub type of atmosphere. Is that or is it just regular? Okay.
Yeah, they can call it whatever they want. It's a nightclub.
Okay.
I would add that it's really not necessary to have the music blaring inside. You can't hear yourself think. And I think even the customers would appreciate if the music was half the volume or 2/3 of the volume. Doesn't have to be that loud, sorry. And that's why policemen that walk through on a periodic basis to keep an eye, the owner knows that you're here, that there's a presence that's being proactive, and it'll keep a lid on it. And also, the people that are living in that area, they bought houses in that area. They bought houses near 9W, not to say that they, they are living there. It's not, they're going to have street noise, they're going to have garbage truck noise. That's the nature of living in that area. They bought the house at a discounted rate to live in that area. So in my opinion, if everyone gives a little, there are nights that it's going to be a little bit noisy and we have to put up with it, but it doesn't have to be every night. And if there's enough police presence in these establishments that are thriving and should thrive in town, I think we can make that everything can be resolved and everyone can be reasonably happy.
Councilman, they are very much aware of our presence. I have met with the owner and council, and my respectful requests of them have gone continuously disregarded, so.
Do they-
Chief, is the entertainment, sorry,
they-
David.
I'm sorry, do they walk through the establishment when when 300, 400 people are there? That's my question.
No, we're not gonna do that, sir.
And that's just,
Why are you not going to do that? What's the reasoning not to do that?
You're harassing the establishment.
it's not
It is,
Russia.
it's borderline harassment, and we are law enforcement and public safety. We
Okay.
respond to crimes.
Well, I still think that an officer walking through an establishment is not harassment. On the contrary. But thank you.
Chief, the entertainment that's being incurred, is it on the ground floor or is it underneath in the basement or?
I can't speak.
No,
Okay.
I don't wanna speculate.
Okay.
Okay.
Stop is looking from the back.
Thank you so much, thank you. Okay.
Thank you, Chief.
Fire department, please. Okay, thank you.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Just to reiterate the chief's short report, it was a quiet June to early July, fortunately for the department. It was a safe 4th of July. There were no incidents that required fire department services, which was a fortunate thing. And the other thing we have is, before you, we have an application for a young gentleman named Grant Choi. Eager to join the department, and hopefully tonight you guys will approve that. But other than that, I have nothing further.
Thank you.
So Chief, is he a junior or?
He is a junior, I
Okay.
did notice that, so if you can
Okay.
just update the,
Yeah, we'll have to, I
yeah,
thought
just
he was.
update the resolution.
Okay.
Or it'll save us time later on in 2
Yeah,
years.
yeah, right, exactly.
Young gentleman, 16 years old, your son actually brought him up and introduced him to the fire department, and I guess we didn't scare him away, so.
Yes,
Yeah. So, and that was basically it. And I'm sorry, we took delivery of our utility vehicle. That was purchased at little to no expense to the taxpayers due to grants, received FEMA grants. So it's going to be in service, and if any of the mayor and council governing body would like to come and see it, more than welcome to stop by any evening, and we'll give you a tour.
Nice.
is it parked outside, Andrew?
It's inside right now. We're in the process of outfitting it
Okay.
for our use. That's gonna take, a couple of weeks or so. Just transferring equipment to it and getting it in service.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, thank you. Okay, DPW, Mark, please.
Evening, everybody. Similar to police and fire, fairly quiet, for the last meeting. Two things carrying over from last meeting. Number one, Councilman DiGregorio, we're gonna be out line painting and striping next week. Generally schedule that for after the 4th of July to start that. This week, due to the current heat, we'll try next week and see if conditions get any better. Second, Councilman Luciano, County manhole in Englewood, question. I contacted them, they're gonna look into it. I think there's an illicit connection somewhere along the line, but we're gonna give some answers on that. Charting event, June 22nd was another successful event. I would like to thank Councilman Simon and Mayor Park for attending. It's great to have you there. At that event, we shredded 3,680 pounds of paper, collected 4 yards of cardboard, 19 coats, and we're looking to actually consider, I got a pretty good response from residents that attended. And we're looking to possibly schedule a second event, maybe mid to late October, second half of October, after the holidays. I'm possibly looking to, again, one of the conversations I had just along the way is incorporate a food drive with that event. I think people would be responsive to that. Regarding Whitfield Veterans Park, both contractors, Gallon Contracting down to Veterans and Lantec are both mobilized to Whitfield. Lantec is mobilized to Whitfield. They're both on their respective jobs and working. We've working this week with senior citizens, preparing for their picnic this Sunday, the 14th. We're working with them to get that ready, tent and chair tables. Should be a nice event, a little warm, but should be good. But,
Any question?
Mark, real quick, you know, on 9W over here with all these floods, I see that the DOT has been putting in all the rocks and everything.
yeah, and our
Right.
basins and stuff.
On the way up here tonight, looks nice. Unfortunately, the catch basin filled with crap.
Okay.
So if any rain came right now, I wouldn't be able to go down the drain because, so if you can contact them, I mean, I appreciate that they're trying to do something, but if you have the drain blocked, what good is how nice that rock looks. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Jerry?
Thank you, Mayor. First item is the heat. I do want to remind our residents that if they need a cooling station or any assistance with the heat, to contact our office for non-emergency inquiries and questions at 201-569-5252. Of course, call 911 for any emergencies. Our U.S. Environmental Protection consent order. Our required webpage is being developed and is only missing a few requirements, one of which is going to be an ordinance regarding private salt storage at our larger commercial entities. And we also are, we've completed the submission for the 2024 MS4 report. Our next submission to the EPA is due September 2024, so we're completely up to date. Cell towers again, last meeting I spoke about cell towers. We've completed negotiations with one, and the contracts are going back and forth with the lawyers and their lawyers. We do have another main carrier, the largest carrier. We started negotiating with them, and they believe that if they can't come up with an amicable arrangement, that they may want to move off of our tower. So I'll have to update the board if we need to decide to go out for RFP on the space of our tower, if our negotiations break down. Our final item, or my final item, which I provided some backup to the council in my email, Boswell Engineering has provided the borough with a draft report indicating our illicit connections. The locations where illicit downspout connections were discovered will have to be disconnected as soon as possible. Once you find it, you have to deal with it. The borough will notify all residents in writing of these addresses for the identified cross connections in the next few weeks. The process will be basically what's outlined by the DEP, where we notify them in writing, we give them a certain amount of time. We go back to see if the illicit discharge has been disconnected. If it hasn't, then we could potentially issue a summons for that illicit discharge and then bring it to court.
What is the cost for that, estimated cost?
For us?
Work, yes.
For the work? Throughout the whole town, so right now, we have a bill from National Water Main of $275,000 for all the TV that they did last year. And right now, the estimated cost without Hudson Terrace and Sylvan is $2 million for all the repairs, which is significantly less than what I thought it was going to be because they TV'd the entire town.
Sorry to interrupt you, but do you have a number of potential illicit connections?
You have it, and you have the addresses.
Oh, okay. Do you know roughly just a number?
2,000.
2,000. Okay.
A question on that also, on that subject. Do you go out for bids for this job, or you locked into one company? How does it work? There's a lot of money here.
So that's a process that we haven't discussed. Of course, you go out to bid for something like this, based on the engineer's specs. So there's specifications on how to repair pipe with the cure in place. There's specifications on how to do point repairs, which are just small sections. And then there's specifications that the engineer writes up and provides in the bid documents for large sections of pipe, 200 feet, 300 feet at a time.
And we have to do it all in one time, or we can do sections?
Economies of scale usually give you the best option to do it all at once and provide one contractor one contractor with all the work. Typically, you get the best price. Where I used to work in 2 phases, and we were able to get that same contractor who bid the first job to continue on the second phase because it was such a significant amount of money.
Jerry?
Yeah, Dave?
Yeah, so my concern, number one, is that the most important part of this project is left till last, and that's Hudson Terrace and the Hudson Terrace line. And I understand that there was a big screw up by somebody, and not on our staff, that confused the roads, that one was a state road and not one was a county road, and that all they needed to do was contact Hackensack. Now, I I am not for paying whoever screwed up on this, because really that should have been the first thing that was checked. And it's fine that we're doing all of the stuff that is in town that needs to be maintained by the borough, but now the company that did all the cameraing, it's really not their fault. It's our engineer. It's Boswell's fault. What do we owe them on this piece? And what?
I don't recall off the top of my head, Councilman, what we owe Boswell for this. I'll find that out tomorrow.
Okay, because I'm going to check the bill list. If it's on the bill list, I think we should pay them, a portion of it. And they got to get their rear ends in gear and get the right pipes cameraed, are the most important ones. So,
I recall signing off on the invoice for the park.
okay,
project.
well, that's fine. The park is separate. But, it was a year and a half in closed session, and I won't go into the details, that one of the principals of the company was giving a big speech on what was going to be done. And now it's still not done. Everything else in town is done except that. I don't know why that would be. I have some suspicions, but they better get that done very quickly. And, I have to return that email that I received from Kevin Boswell regarding that. So,
Okay.
all right? Okay.
Quick look, I don't see on the bill list the item for Boswell for the sewer.
But that's of highest urgency for a variety of reasons. We all know what those reasons are. So,
Thank you.
thanks.
Why would we not just go out for RFP on the cell tower anyway in case negotiations break down? Might light a little fire under their rear ends to say, hey, look, when our negotiations break, if they break down, we have something else in our back pocket. Why would we just go out for RFP?
I don't know if you can do it.
Well, of course you can, why can't you?
No,
You can go
because
out and
then you
offer
have to
RFP right now
disclose
for
to
the
the
borough
other
attorney.
people that you're still in
Sounds like chair line.
negotiation. It's not,
sorry?
you have to disclose to other people who are bidding that you're still
It's
in
a public thing,
negotiation.
what do you mean? So what?
I
Ask Mr. Stevens, he's our attorney, what does he think?
Yeah,
I mean,
you can go out,
there.
you can go out for an RFP because you're generally for anything, because you're not required
Right.
to take it. The only thing I don't know off the top of my head is if there's anything in the existing contract that would preclude it, but generally I wouldn't expect it. Because if the contract falls through, then
Right, then we're in
you
the
can,
Right, then we have to go out to RFP and go try to get a contractor, you know what I mean? Or maybe maybe it's a dead site, I don't know, they're putting them in all over the place, but I don't see what can it hurt to just put out an announcement? We do it every year, we should do it every year with all of our professionals, right? Whether you love them or not, I don't see why we have to wait until negotiations break down, and then we say, oh, you know what, we're not getting any rent this month. Oh, because you know what, we didn't go out to RFP. It's just my own thinking.
The current contract that we're negotiating ends at the end of 2026.
Oh.
But I can easily write an RFP, no problem.
Okay.
It's basically what the council wants.
I mean, what we could do is since it is until the end of 2026, we could get that teed up and we could let them know that the council has an interest. If this doesn't move along in a satisfactory direction, then go out and it could be on the,
No, we're not gonna sit here and let them control everything and say, oh, you know what? By the way, we're gonna go to the building over here at 660 Sylvan Ave, because we worked the deal with them instead of you.
I can tee it up for the attorney's review, no problem. Just take me a week or two.
Because we do know they're looking everywhere too, and
No, that's the nature of it.
Okay,
That's it, Mayor.
yeah,
Thank you.
anyone else? Okay. I need a motion and second to go into the closed session.
So moved.
Okay, second, okay, all in favor?
Yes.
Aye.
Okay. How long does it take? Maybe hour? I don't know. Okay. I'm sorry, okay.
Mayor,
Yes,
will-
the
if you-
council discussion?
yes,
Okay.
Mayor, pursuant to our discussion in closed session, I would like to make several motions. The first motion would be to change the order of the agenda and to bring up the resolution concerning the liquor license at Lefke's. I would
What
like,
number is that?
154.
Well, that is already agenda 11. Why don't you do that later on?
I'll second it.
yeah, I want to change the order of the agenda and bring that up for vote first.
Okay, any second?
You got it.
Okay.
Discussion.
Any discussion?
No.
No. Okay, roll call, please.
Member Simon?
Yes.
Member Kim?
Yes.
Member Luciano?
Aye.
Member Di Gregorio?
Yes.
Member
Yes.
Begets?
No.
Member Liang?
Yes.
Mayor passes.
Okay.
Now, that was to, was that just to revise the agenda, or was that on the,
I thought it was.
Agenda committee.
that was to revise the agenda?
Yeah,
correct?
revise it. Yeah, I would like to
Yes.
make a motion to put a vote on the resolution.
To suspend the order of
Yes,
business.
yes.
To bring forth 154.
Right.
To be voted
So,
on. That's
so,
what that
right,
vote was
so
for.
now, Councilman, if you want to make a
Oh,
motion on the substance,
154,
I'm
yes.
sorry.
Now, the second motion would be
yes,
to make the approve
The agenda
154, the hospitality license. I'll
Correct.
make that motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, got
Okay.
confused.
correct, now we're good.
Okay.
Yes.
You second, right, Kim?
Yes,
Yeah, roll call.
Roll call, please.
Okay. Member Kim?
yes.
Member Simon?
Yes.
Member Luciano?
Aye.
Member Di Gregorio?
Yes. Yes.
Member Begets?
Yes.
Member Liang?
Yes.
Mayor passes.
Okay. And, okay, Councilman Kim, you going to
I'm
bring a
making
couple
another
more?
motion.
Okay.
I'm making a motion to,
Okay.
Thanks, Greg.
thank you.
For your help, appreciate it. And I'll be in touch with you Mensch about
Now I'll go ahead.
further discussions.
Oh, this is that tell everybody from Lefkish, okay.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to change the voting order of the council on resolutions or other motions and amend it to, the voting order would be Liang, Councilman Liang, Councilman Rivka, Councilman Kim, Councilman Di Gregorio, Councilwoman Simon, and Councilman Glenn Luciano.
You mean
What was that?
voting order, or maybe you are the legal?
The motion is on the table.
Motion and a
It's open for
second.
discussion.
You can have discussion.
Right.
Yeah, can you
Yeah.
explain it again? What's the?
He's changing the voting order,
So,
and I don't know.
right, so the, right, so the motion that's being,
Why you guys changed it?
so
I'll
the,
second it. I second it.
It's
But-
been
but
seconded.
Hang on, the council's trying to speak to us.
oh, I just want to make sure everyone knew what was happening. So, I just want to make sure that, in case anybody didn't hear, because,
Chris made a motion
Yeah.
to change the voting.
no, I know, sometimes,
Yes.
you all collectively talk either at the same time or to each other side, and sometimes it makes it harder for other people to hear, so I just want to make sure,
Thank you.
that's
I
it.
apologize.
I just, like the councilman asked, so the motion is to change the voting order, it would be Liang, Rivka, sorry, I wrote my hand right, it's,
Kim?
Kim, Di Gregorio, Simon, Luciano.
That's correct. And can somebody explain to me what's the purpose of it?
To bring greater unity to the council and yes,
Wonderful.
to
Wonderful.
the votes.
You don't want unity?
Sure. It's exactly what you're doing.
Excuse me?
Exactly what you're doing, unity. Just like
Is there
this.
any further discussion?
Vote.
Can we call the vote, Mayor? May we call the vote, please?
Yes, yeah, you can.
You going by the old one?
I'm going by the
Yes.
old one.
Old order.
Yes.
So, Member Kim?
Yes.
Member Simon?
Yes.
Member Luciano?
Aye.
Member Di Gregorio?
Yes.
Member Begets?
No.
Member Liang?
No.
Motion passes.
Mayor, I'd like to introduce another motion. This is a motion to amend the membership in the Affordable Housing Subcommittee. And that motion would be to remove certain members from that committee. The members that are being removed out of that I'm making a motion to remove out of the Affordable Subcommittee would be Councilwoman Rivka, Tim Kutrubis, Hamet Mehta, and Chairman Russ Perino.
Well, I'll second it, but who remains on that committee now?
Who will remain with the clerk of the?
I don't have it on me, but it would be Geiger, or it would be, who is it?
I am on it.
You're on it.
Di
The council
Gregorio.
people.
Councilman Di
Di
Gregorio will remain on
Because
it.
there was 6 all in total.
That would be 7.
Meta was not on.
I don't think Meta was
No,
on.
Meta
Meta was on.
Who was
Okay.
on,
No,
Joe?
it wasn't
It was
Meta.
Dave,
It was,
Chris,
yes,
Dave, Chris,
Chris Porino,
Perino, Karen Geiger, Tim Katrubis.
Tim Katrubis. I think it was
and
only
it
6.
5, and
Okay.
1, 2, 3, Rivka.
And
And
Councilwoman
So
Rivka.
how many council members?
So-
So
so-
I don't know why-
Mr. Mehta
I don't know how
calling
Mehta
our
came in.
affordable housing attorney.
Right. That's the confusion. Yeah, he's sending letters and
He's not on the
making phone
committee.
calls to
Well,
Affordable
he's
House
not on the
Committee.
But he called with a committee member, Tim Katrubis, as if he was a committee member. That's very interesting, because I always thought he was a, I think David actually put, if we listen to that tape, Mr. Mehta was a member of that committee.
Maybe it was.
I think what.
I believe he is, yeah.
Councilman, what you could do is, if there's a question, you could, if you know that you want the 3 remaining members to be Geiger, Kim, and Di Gregorio, you could make the motion just to say that the Affordable Housing Committee is amended to be those 3 people, and then whoever else was on it are no longer on it, and we don't have to.
That's a great
we don't have to
suggestion.
miss
Thank you.
anybody or.
I
Excellent
withdraw
idea.
my motion and amend my motion to say that the membership of the Affordable Housing Subcommittee would be limited to Councilman Di Gregorio, Councilman Kim, and Karen Geiger.
Excellent.
So it's just 3.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, so I think that was a motion. I don't know if there was a second.
Second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Am I doing the new or the old one, Matt?
New voting.
New
order.
one, okay.
New voting.
If you can.
So bear with me a minute here, please. Member Liang?
No voting? Now we're voting now?
I mean,
Yeah.
Yes.
Now,
Yeah, on the
voting-
Affordable Housing
voting
Committee.
and
on the
then
new
you,
revised
and you
affordable
order.
housing committee.
Yes, so now we have 3 members,
You
right?
have 3?
Yes.
3
only
members, no.
No? Member Begets?
No.
Member Kim?
Yes.
Member Di Gregorio?
Yes.
Member Simon?
Come back to me.
Member Luciano?
Come back to me.
That's all it is.
There's only you 2.
It's just you and him.
I hear, then I will vote in the affirmative.
Member
And I'll
Luciano?
vote present.
It passes.
It passes.
Great. Mayor, at this time, I would also like to make another motion, and that would be to change the membership of the legal committee, the standing committee. And then membership will be composed of Councilman Di Gregorio, Councilman Kim, and Councilman Luciano.
Second.
Legal committee, give me one moment, let me just write this down. Okay,
Okay, roll call, please.
so. Simon. Who seconded that motion?
I did.
Member Liang?
No.
Member Begets?
No.
Member Kim?
Yes.
Member Di Gregorio?
Yes.
Member Simon?
Yes.
Member Luciano?
Aye.
It passes.
I would like to make another motion, Mayor. This time, it would be to authorize our attorney, Michael Yellen, and his firm, Cole Schatz, to come to reach terms of settlement, if possible, under the 800 civil litigation, and further to limit any discussion concerning any potential settlements that Mr. Yellen may have to the legal committee that any discussions that the attorney has would be spoken with the legal committee only and discussed with this prior to being presented to the council, to the full council.
Any discussion?
No?
Okay, roll call, please.
Member Liang?
Yes, is there something that,
Can you explain what is the?
Councilman may have saw me grimace, or question. I think you can, direct the, affordable housing attorney to work with the, to work with the legal committee to come up with terms and, to attempt to, as you said, to attempt to settle, consistent with, discussions, terms and directions as listed, or as directed by the, legal committee. I don't believe that you can keep the Affordable Housing Council from speaking with other elected officials,
Okay.
or
I
you
withdraw
can,
that
you can
motion.
say, right, you can say
Yeah.
they can't speak to anybody who's not an elected official, or,
right.
or like Jerry or myself.
Correct. All right, not
You
speak
can't
with
have
any
them
other.
not speak to the mayor or speak to other council members.
Right, I'll adopt the borough attorney's suggested language and limit it so that the Affordable Housing Committee may not communicate with anyone who is not an elected official other than our borough, other than mayor and our borough attorney.
Yes, and then, and other,
Staff, right.
Staff as necessary to effectuate the direction of the legal committee to further litigation.
Perfect,
so
thank you.
do I have to withdraw my second? or-
No,
Okay,
I'm just clarifying.
okay.
Member Liang?
No.
Member Begets?
Oh.
Member Kim?
Yes,
Member Di Gregorio?
Yes.
Member Simon?
Yes.
Member Luciano? And it passes.
and I would like to make one final motion. This will be, actually, two more motions. The second motion, the next motion would be to authorize our borough attorney concerning the valet matter and the Duffy case.
So this would be, if I remember correctly, Councilman, this would be a motion authorizing me to enter into settlement agreements consistent with the terms that we discussed in closed session with the parties to those two litigations to the extent possible, based on the terms that we've discussed. And if we can do that, I will bring back actual written agreements for final, final approval.
Second, third.
Okay, any further discussion? No? Okay, roll call, please.
Member Liang?
Yes.
Member Begets?
Yes.
Member Kim?
Yes,
Member Di Gregorio?
Yes.
Member Simon?
Yes.
Member Luciano? Okay.
and one final motion, Mayor, this one is a doozy, and, but it must be made. I would like to authorize Attorney Albert Wunsch to work with Michael Yellen in his attempts to settle 800 Sylvan. He will be under the supervision of Mr. Yellen, and any discussions or work that he does would have to be authorized by Attorney Mr. Yellen. And of course, any discussions that Albert Wunsch may have, or attempted discussions he may have with 800 Sylvan would be in the presence of Attorney Yellen.
No.
Uh,
Okay, open for discussion?
Because I think that
Uh,
was meant to say that you're gonna have negotiations in presence of him. I mean, is that something that they're in the same meeting, or is that
Well,
being physically present?
The way I would,
Knowledge of that
so
being
assuming,
said?
the way I understood what was just said, the way I understand it, that would mean that if this were to pass, that Mr. Wunsch would not do anything that is not coordinated through Mr. Yellen.
So I just wanted
Right.
And that, let's just say there's a conversation with somebody from 800 Sylvan on topic of settlement, that Mr. Yellen would be a part of it, whether that's by phone, whether that's by Zoom.
knowledge of it.
Or knowledge of it.
I think, right, as long as Mr. Yellen, as I understand what's being said,
In the loop.
correct, and I
I don't wanna make
think,
it so restrictive that, you know what, if
Right, but I-
Alan calls Alex, says call the client.
right, but I think the way it's worded right now, if Mr. Yellen was to say, you're not to have any conversations with anybody from 800 Sylvan,
Direction,
if he says it's okay,
I'll second.
that's how it's worded now.
Question, can I ask a question?
Of course.
Am I, or few of us are able to vote? Because do we have a conflict?
You see,
Yeah, we have a conflict of interest and what to think of it. And this is really they can bring here to him at this moment?
Well,
bless you.
so as this comes up, every time there's a motion to hire Mr. Wunsch,
You wanna table it?
you could, so what's been done in the past, so what's been done in the past has been a motion to table. Not knowing where the votes are gonna be, certainly, you can make a motion to table, there could be second, then it could be a vote. If it's tabled, it's tabled, that's the end of it. If it's not tabled, then one of two scenarios would happen. Either there'd be a vote, depending on how the vote comes out. If it's, well, I guess if it doesn't table, we know where the vote's gonna go, in which case your vote's not gonna matter.
Motion to
So-
table, motion to table, motion,
Right.
motion to table. I'm making a motion to table.
Second.
Second,
Okay, table the roll call, please.
It's only a 2-month, I don't know if I was clear, but it's only a 2-month authorization to
Yeah,
Mr. Wunsch.
if it's 3 months, excuse my language.
No, it's until the trial.
Okay,
He
just
was-
okay, roll
What
call.
happened there? So they-
No discussion,
Motion
roll
to
call,
table.
please.
David made a motion to
This
table.
is what we
This
wanted
is,
about this.
see,
If there's discussion, I would just add
There's-
that if Mr. Wunsch would work for the borough pro bono and drop his lawsuit against the Republicans, I certainly would be for it.
yeah,
But
but
that's
when
not
you
for it.
work pro bono, do you wanna work pro bono?
Oh,
Enough of this bad, horrible,
Please, don't lecture me.
ridiculous, for a man who loves the town so much, for crying out loud, drop the lawsuit against the Republicans and let's make this town what it should be.
not supposed to be any real discussion on motion to table. So David made a motion to table. I don't,
Second by the
okay, second by Rivka. There'd be a roll call vote under the new order on the motion to table.
Member Liang,
Yes.
Member Begets,
Yes.
Member Kim,
No.
Member Di Gregorio,
Yes,
Member Simon,
No.
Member Luciano. And it's a
So-
tie.
Yes.
Don't show it in your pocket.
And
I think
All
that's
done?
I believe that's on.
okay,
believe it.
and then next item is a public comment. We have a public comment session.
think so.
All the nobody in here, anybody in
Nobody
the,
on Zoom.
okay. I'm going to close public comment session.
Oh, wait,
But before you
you
go
have to
forward,
make a motion to open, recognize that there's no one here in public, and then.
Yeah, I already told it.
no, you've got,
Who made the motion?
Yeah, I
Okay.
told it.
you've got two people.
Hello?
Hold on, guys, hold on.
Somebody-
Open it to the public.
Oh, okay, on the,
So we're gonna,
Laura, people are having difficulty getting in.
Okay.
I don't know why. Everybody's on here.
somebody,
All of a sudden, there are people on Zoom that
Okay,
wasn't there before, Mayor.
Mrs. O'Shea, are you the EC? Yes, you are the EC resident.
Yes, I'm trying to raise my hand.
Okay, I got it now.
okay,
I put the little
Stating-
hand up there.
okay.
First, you have to make the motion to
Okay.
open. This is when you get mad at me.
I'll make the motion to open it to public session.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm a little concerned about the consent agenda that you have tonight. So many of these items should not be on a consent agenda. They should be discussed. And I'm also concerned about the lack of transparency on the agenda. Item number 161, tax appeal, does not say how much the taxes were, how much the taxes will be, how much of a refund or whatever's happening on that property. On number 162, the award of the contract to Viking Pest Control does not say what the amount of the contract award was. On 164, hiring administrative assistant to the construction code subcode official. I believe the subcode official got an exorbitant salary of over $100 and something thousand this year. And now to have an assistant, it doesn't seem right. And then appointing Assistant Borough Administrator Kathy Scancarello. I have to speak to that. Although I am very fond of all the people that work in the Borough Hall, I have spoken in the past. I do not believe an employee should be making multiple salaries for the same time they're working in the building. Now, Kathy is the in the construction office. She is planning board secretary. She is also something with COA. And now to go with the working for the administrator as assistant, I think that's an overkill. And also, it did not say what her pay would be for that position. I know she's making $95,000 now for the technical job, plus she gets a salary as secretary for the planning board. I think we're going a little bit nuts in this town, the mayor and council, with salaries, and you got to slow it down. This is no good. There's no reason that I'm sorry, Mr. Barbario does a wonderful job. My contact with him has been good, but he doesn't need an assistant. Okay, we had other people that were there in that position that were making 95,000. Carol McMorrow was making 95,000. Roberta Stern was making 95,000. I don't know what all those temporary people were making because they came and went and come and went. And I don't know if they did any work at all. But I really think that the agenda is lacking. It's not transparent. And I am against the appointment of an assistant to the borough administrator and for hiring somebody for the construction office. Okay, and the other thing is David Gonzalez, that he was given a salary increase by Roberta Stern that was not approved by this council is outrageous, outrageous. And the fact that now we look us to pay for him to go to college, I'm sorry, if he wants to get a job that's going to be paying $20,000 more than he's making now, I think he can pay for his own college. Okay? And that's only 4 minutes so far. All right, so that's my my statement. And the other thing is, I don't understand why you're changing the order of the voting. It seems that's like a real political ploy. And the fact that Councilman Kim came in and is making 5 or 6 resolutions to be heard before that the meeting gets to the regular printed agenda, these things should be brought up to the borough administrator and put on the agenda so that the public can deal with it, speak to it, and know what's going on. You don't be shooting from the hip like this, pull it out of your pocket and make all these resolutions. It's wrong. It's wrong. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, now Karen Geiger.
Karen Geiger.
Yes.
Ms. Geiger. Karen, I think you're good to go.
Unmute.
Need to unmute
You have to
yourself.
unmute.
You gotta unmute.
Who's on now?
Need to unmute.
Karen Geiger.
She not
Can't hear.
unmute. She can't hear me.
Unmute.
She needs to unmute.
I got it. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Okay, just a commentary on all the various increases and personnel changes. What it might behoove the borough to do is to present an organization chart that shows what's needed to manage Borough Hall and for the council to sign off on it. What I see meeting after meeting is a few $1,000s here, a few $1,000s here, new people being hired, people being shifted around, all without any plan or program for what it's to look like in the end, and or agreement on it. Just a simple comment. On the agenda packet, it really is not a good thing when the agenda packet first appears 1 hour, less than 1 hour before a meeting. If you're going to have an involved public, you have to have this available to the public, and there's really no excuse for having no agenda packet. I can understand having to supplement it, but I really can't understand having nothing. My biggest concern, however, was a comment made by Mr. Barbario regarding the work that is being done in the sewers. I believe he said that just doing the tributary branches in the town, meaning the area excluding Hudson Terrace and 9W, is estimated to cost 2 million. We really don't know what it is since we haven't gone out to bid on that. And 275,000 was due to this sewer main company. To my understanding, I went back and checked. The sewer main company was hired. They were the highest of 3 bids. The lowest was 17,000, I believe. They were 43. I don't know how you get from 43,000 to expenditures that exceed 275. 275 requires public bidding. I want to know who authorized this increased use without control and why the amount was so egregiously high. And I will speak to the Waste Management Group and what I discovered as a member of the Affordable Housing Committee when I give that committee's report. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
And the committee reports.
Okay, I think that's it.
Okay,
Nobody else
and
on.
no one is seeing and hearing. Can I have a motion to close the public comment? Yeah,
Motion.
second. Okay, second. And all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. I need the approval of minutes. March 13, 2024 closed session. I need a motion.
I sent it to you. But it wasn't here. It's not in your packet though. I just emailed it.
In my packet.
I didn't have a chance to read that, I can't.
I make a motion to table.
Why?
Second,
Why?
I didn't read it.
Why? Because we didn't get it till today. Did you read it?
No, I sent it out. One.
I haven't seen it. Have you read it? Can
You're
you
talking
can
about
you tell
what?
me
Wait a
The
minute.
minutes, the minutes.
Wait a minute.
Why? You don't
I did
tell
not
us.
read.
why
I
I'm
did not
asking
read.
why I'm motioning the table.
No,
You
no,
don't
I'm
want
asking
to
what
motion
is
the
that?
table. You just-
No,
you
no,
don't
table.
want
I
to
second the
have it
motion.
through it.
Yeah, myself either.
I did not read it.
Okay.
I think there was a motion, yeah, motion to table, right?
Okay.
Done the table. We need a vote?
Yeah, yes, roll call.
Member Liang?
Yes.
Member Begets?
Table, yes.
Member Kim?
Yes.
Member Di Gregorio?
Motion to table? Is
Yes.
that, yes, motion to table.
Member Simon?
Yes,
Member Luciano?
Aye.
Okay, and
May I, Mr. Mayor, may I just make a quick comment?
yes,
I would like to make a request, and I'm not sure whose responsibility it would lie on, but I think that and following on what Mrs. Geiger said before, the whole council receives a whole bunch of different emails and, another resolution and another resolution. Once that whole packet is done with the agenda and then all the resolutions attached, put it into the copy machine, scan it, and then post it and send it out to us. And if anything should change, an additional resolution or whatever, do the same thing and then just put updated resolution. So we have all of the resolutions, everything in one email, and it makes it so much easier to go through instead of looking at picking and choosing of the million emails that come out. It's just a question of organization that I think would streamline, would make the work easier for everybody, that we all get, there's always going to be an update and a last minute resolution. That's granted. But we've got to have it all.
we're gonna improve
Thank
it.
you.
I thought we were setting up, I thought we've been hearing for months about how we're setting up these folders. I see on the.
We have a folders,
page 20
right? David, we have a
Yes.
folder, right?
The only one that has been taking advantage of that is the business department, is the financial department. Now, I think that, I think all of the other employees, and I'll be there in August, but I think that we need to invest in training for all of the employees to be proficient in sharing files. Yes, Mr. Councilman Luciano, we should be sharing and taking advantage of the software that we have, but people have to be trained on it, and there's no excuse. I'm not a technology person. Everybody in this day and age has to be a technology person, and it should be easily accessible to everybody. And I'm glad to support it. Then we're digressing. I just wanted to get that out there. But in the meantime, the packet can be done and it can be sent out via an email attachment. One attachment, not 30 attachments, one attachment, all scanned in there. You just put it in the copy machine, scan it to a PDF, done. You can do that in the meantime.
We still
Thank
wouldn't
you.
have that till 5 o'clock today.
No,
Okay,
but you would.
David, you are a specialist. Maybe I wanted to get your idea. Maybe if
Okay.
we can create about the sharing folder and then put on all this documentation, and then we
Okay.
can connect about the link, and then they can come in and they take a look at it, because
Okay.
we cannot print out this one too much,
Mayor,
as in here, and that is a waste of money and a waste of paper, and nobody in this, physically not in here, so that is useless. And I recommend about it. You can create about the sharing file folder,
Mayor?
and then we can put it over there.
Mayor, I already
Yes.
spoke with the borough administrator, Mr. Barbario. I have a flexible schedule in August. I'm glad to support it as much as possible, but everyone's got to get on board with this. So I'll be around in August. Let's put it this
Yes.
way, at the end of
Very
July.
responsive. Okay, yes, you can
Thank
go
you.
on.
But
Yes.
you can count on me on that.
So the purpose of the idea of the SharePoint was to make sure that we shared all of the purchase orders and the invoices with all of council. And we do that.
And that's been happening.
And we try to do that the weekend before the council meeting, right? So Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, when the employee comes in to do that. And so that was the criticism, we fixed that. So we were able to do that part. We will expand on the capabilities of SharePoint since we're paying $10 each for the service as we keep going, okay? But the reality is, I send out resolutions as I write them. I send out information as I find it. For instance, Mrs. Geiger is questioning the authorization of the $275,000. I provided the council with an email with 6 or 7 attachments to justify or to I had the same question until I was able to find and go through the emails and the documents in prior administrators that they did have those authorizations, that the former borough attorney, Joe, was able to do that. So I do have, and I sent all that information out, right? So I send information out, the minute it's completed, I send it out. I do receive criticism and it's deserving of, sometimes I do send out information Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday of the council meeting, and I apologize for that. But in the past, I have also sent out resolutions and information prior to the council meeting because I want to give you as much time as possible, if you can, to review it, because there's a lot going on. If we adopt a policy of sending 30 resolutions and 30 backups a couple of days or the day before a meeting, it's not going to work out for us. So we have to come up with a different solution, and SharePoint may be that solution to be able to download as things come up. But I create, after the agenda meeting, I am busy the entire 3 days after creating resolutions, creating backup, creating justification. For instance, on the Viking pest control, I was able to provide the resolution to Laura, so she put it on the agenda. But I also provided the backup for Viking's quote, as well as the second quote that we received, and the fact that in the email I said that the third company that we asked for did not provide us a quote, right? So we went out for 3 quotes, we got 2, Viking is the lowest responsible bidder. I do that for the meeting, so I don't know how I'm going to be able to change that to make it better, because I try to get you the information as soon as possible, as soon as I have it developed.
Okay, maybe to eliminate questions,
Yeah,
when you on the line here, items that went for bidding, you should say after bidding or, parentheses after bidding. So it means you chose biking.
I can do that, but I do that in email, so.
But
if you want me-
the residents don't see that, they see
Exactly.
here.
So-
So that's why the question,
So
so
then I
to
can-
eliminate,
I can beef up the detail on the agenda, or Laura and I can work on beefing up the detail
a
on the
little bit,
agenda.
just to give them an idea,
I can do that if that makes it a little bit easier on some of the items.
better,
Okay.
All right.
is it better?
And for instance, the assistant to the construction code official, that's a replacement job. That's not a
Yes.
new person, that's not a person we
But
give
they
into
don't
Gino.
know.
Let's say we had a employee that worked for us for a couple of years, leave on July 5th, and we're asking the council to approve a replacement employee for starting date of July 15th at the same salary. So, but that information is.
It gets lost, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't question that, this guy could question that.
I understand that, but what I'm trying to.
So maybe for the
The other
public, you put
council will
replacement,
question that.
replacement and no whatever.
So I
We
can,
get-
I
you-
can work with Laura to do a little bit more detail.
Yeah,
We
no,
can work it.
the line.
Okay.
Okay,
Yep.
that sounds good.
All right.
Okay, let's move on to item number 10. Motion and the second to approve the bill list. Anybody?
Make the motion.
I need a second?
This is approval of the bills list?
Yes.
I'll make the motion, second it.
Second?
Okay,
I have a question.
yeah, okay, any question?
$3,500 for Chamber of Commerce.
Yes.
The Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah,
So we're in the north.
we member of Chamber of Commerce, and every
How's that?
establishment,
Yeah, I'm supposed to-
every establishment in the area, they wanna be member of Chamber of Commerce, they get it for free. They're giving us the authority, the Chamber of Commerce, to give how many people that we want, establishment for free, be member
So
of
wait,
Chamber.
so we're paying the Chamber of Commerce $3,500.
Yes, you're a
So
member,
that are people in the borough or businesses
Yes.
making money in our borough won't have to
Yes.
pay to join the Chamber of Commerce?
yes, because we want to encourage businesses here to come and feel comfortable and be a member of Chamber of
Paying for their
Commerce.
membership for Chamber of Commerce is gonna make them feel
$3,500 will not
I'm just-
kill you, no, I'm just telling
I just
you.
wanna understand the process.
The town should be a member of Chamber of Commerce.
Okay.
All towns around us are
We
members.
were for
Uh-huh.
a period of time.
Okay, I don't know, I'm just saying that
I'm
it
glad you
dropped.
have an answer, thank you.
Okay.
The chamber,
What I noticed I have this administrative software support, 2,300, but then I also see $11,000 for 1 month of spatial data logic, cloud services and licensing. Are we now experiencing $11,000 a month for this service?
$11,000 is a one-time for the annual to go to the cloud.
So
not a
we have
monthly.
2 licenses,
Yes, we have 2 licenses, we're gonna be adding 2 more. I have to get,
$5,000 a pop.
I have to, it's 6,500, it's not 5,000.
Well, I see I'm here, 5280 and 5760.
Right, so the new licenses are gonna be 6,500, I have to have a license because I do the tree permits in my office. And we're adding a second license for the individual who's coming in who is computer proficient.
Which-
Construction code.
Do anybody know about the garbage truck repair? I thought we just bought the dog truck, $22,000, almost $30,000 in garbage truck repair,
We
over
did,
$30,000?
Is that the
did buy-
recycling?
we did buy a new one, and we only use the garbage trucks for recycling.
So what
It
is
is,
it?
it is
I mean,
repair
it's
for
a big
third one.
33,000, we know what that was for? Plus, when I looked at the bill, I didn't see an hourly rate for the 46 truck repair.
I don't recall what it was for, I'm sorry about that.
Okay, no, hey,
Yeah,
I apologize. Truthfully, I should send this, I'm not getting the bill list until the last
I know, I
minute,
know.
I can't send you questions.
I would've
Take a look
looked at it.
Be prepared for these questions.
Yeah, I would have looked at it as well. I
Um,
remember reviewing it, but I don't remember what it was for.
I'm kind of shocked, I mean, I mentioned this to Rivka before, I mean, Councilwoman, Gatz earlier, I mean, I'm astounded that whoever's signing off on, a counselor meeting for $500 for the rec is just bizarre to me. I mean, we should be eating filet mignon at the council meeting for $500 a month
So,
and I also see on here, I thought I saw an invoice for purchasing a karaoke machine, but now I see on here 3 separate charges for a karaoke machine.
we did purchase one after those events.
After, okay, thank you.
In addition to that, we're planning on using the community center once we gain control of it.
Yeah, I explained to
For
him,
He
parties.
explained to me.
Okay.
but he still wanted to bring it up.
Well, it's
No,
all
I
right.
know, because
I didn't know.
you know what, Rich?
It's valid.
I know.
But
I
I just said that you mentioned that to me, okay? I know there is, but you know what? These
I
are
know.
things that have been going on that have been accepted. And I've been saying every month, it's unacceptable. Okay, so
yeah.
don't just like kind of blow it off that, oh, I just had to bring it up. Yes, I think, you know what?
Yeah,
All of us
because
should be
you
bringing it
got
up.
an answer for me, okay, and now Jerry repeated it, the same thing.
I didn't know you guys
say
called.
anything of it.
I
I'm
didn't
Yeah,
know.
just
that's okay.
expressing my opinion
Okay.
that I think it has been out of control.
Okay, it's
Okay, so
gonna
you
be
don't have
stopped.
to minimize it,
Stop.
that's it.
So the 2305 is general code, that's our link to our ordinance.
Ordinances.
That's not special, so those are separate. And then,
Jerry, can you just talk about the data, spatial data logic? What cloud services is that for? I'm sorry.
right, so instead of maintaining a server with all the information from the building department, all the permits that I do now in my office for the trees,
We moved to the cloud.
we moved to the cloud.
Okay.
And so the annual subscription per license is the $57.60.
That was a big decision, though. I mean,
We're gonna have 4, we're adding 2 additional
Is that
licenses.
covered by, is that under the construction umbrella, where the construction fees will pay for that?
It will, but mine is predominantly for tree ordinances, tree ordinance work.
Thank you for having the answers, I appreciate
Sure.
it. You are.
There was one bill that I remember, just didn't write it down.
I did not
It's a
know.
small bill, I think it has to do with the Xerox machine. Every month, it's late fee, systematically. The bill could be for $24 and the late charges is like $17, something like that.
And then I haven't seen that, so I'll check on that.
Okay, I'll find
Tomorrow,
it.
just if when you
It's
see
just
it tomorrow,
systematically
send it.
late charges.
Just send me the 24 dash number and I'll look it up
Okay.
tomorrow when you get a chance.
Good.
Yeah, okay, so I have, this is just, we're still on the, this, so I have the questions, so.
You saw it too?
Okay, any further,
Take a vote.
question? Okay, I need
Yeah,
a
we're gonna vote.
roll call, please.
Member Liang,
Yes.
What are we voting on?
On the
Bills.
pay bill list.
Member Begets,
Yes.
Member Kim,
Yes.
Member Di Gregorio,
Yes,
Member Simon,
Yes,
Member Luciano.
I abstain.
It passes.
Mayor,
Okay,
if I can?
yes,
The 275,000 that's due national water main, I will put that in the form of a resolution with the detail, because I know that I sent you significant number of,
Yes.
attachments, but I'll do that for the next meeting, and I'll let them know that it's gonna be presented at the next meeting. They're not happy that we haven't paid them, but it is what it is.
Well, we government.
I don't think it's National Water Main's fault. I think it's our Boswell's fault.
it's always Boswell.
Can I, Mr. Mayor, I just have a couple of questions.
Yes.
I have. Mr. Barbario, since you're doing such a good job, I have just a couple of questions. I saw you sent out some kind of spreadsheet about hourly rates and rates for employees that work here. And I thought I saw $70 an hour for the property maintenance person. Was that just a misprint?
It might be, because it's 40, and it's
Well,
never.
from my understanding, I thought we authorized a flat fee of $7,000 per annum.
No, it was $40 an hour up to 20, the resolution last year was $40 an hour up to $20,000 a year.
Okay, can you get that, can you get that?
I'll get that.
And
I didn't request that, Councilman Kim requested that, and then I thought that everyone should have that information. Richie
Well,
provided.
Respectfully, I think that whenever one council, what I always have an
I
issue
did.
with is when I send you things, you always seem to never have a problem with sending it to everybody.
I don't.
But when another councilman says something to you,
No.
like Councilman Kim, you don't seem to share it with us.
I did. Oh,
I'm not saying this one
Okay,
instance, sir.
okay.
I'm just saying in a general sense. So if you did send it, I have been a little bit out of pocket here in the past few days, so I appreciate that you did. I'm just saying in the future, if one council member requests something, I think we're all entitled to the information. I don't know why we pick and choose who we're gonna reply to or who we're gonna send my response to. You know what I mean? I think it's for it's for the betterment of all of us. The more knowledge that we have to make better decisions, like Rivka tried to make a joke earlier that, you know what, her vote doesn't, every vote matters. You know what I mean? Whether you have 4 votes or you have 6 votes, every vote matters. So I think the better I'm informed, even though you might not like the way I vote, I think
At least
it's
you have the
us
knowledge
informed.
to make the decision.
That's all. And the other thing,
So, to be fair,
Yeah,
and
sir.
so, like, we've gone back and forth on this,
Absolutely.
but I have tried to continue to catch up on those kinds of things. So in the last, I send a lot of emails out, so, and I apologize for sending it, but I blast you guys with everything
Fine.
that I have.
And let's be honest, I haven't been coming back to you about
No,
not
you
having things, right? Okay.
You
So, you know, one hand washes the other.
No, yeah, sure.
The other thing, I think now, we hired 2 employees for the DPW. I think you said 90 days. I'd like to see their CDL license when you get a chance.
Okay.
They both, I know the one obtained it, right? Did they both obtain their CDL licenses?
No, I know Danny got it, I don't know if Tim got it.
Okay.
I'll check.
Time frame's up, right?
No, his 90, because his medical didn't kick in yet, so his 90 isn't up yet, and that I know
But wait,
anecdotally, but I gotta check on
the
his.
90 days is from the date of hire, has nothing to do with when medical kicks
90 days is the medical date, and just last week I received an email that he
in.
has
Okay,
not.
so that's what you're using that as your.
He hasn't completed
I
it.
thought the date that you told me, but I'd like to see that because I think it's important that, you know what, we're doing all this stuff, they should, if we have a rule that says 90 days, get your CDL, they should have it.
It might have
Years
been
to
May,
get it.
May 25th was the hire date, or late May, early
I think it
June.
was earlier than that.
I gotta check, I'll check.
That's all I had, thank you.
Mr. Barbario, one question. On the spotted lantern fly treatments, how do you determine, I see public
I haven't
properties.
seen spotted lanternflies.
Well, I know we had an issue with them last year.
One
I haven't seen
woman
no
had-
bench. I mean, we need to have someone on call, as long as we're not paying anything, but I haven't seen any of it.
So I
Do
have
we
a
have a
right,
contract with them?
yeah, so this is the resolution for
Right.
that. I have a right of entry agreement on a certain property that we got a lot of complaints on last year. I received a private.
Rock Road?
Rock Road, yeah,
Yeah.
the corner. No, it's Boys.
Bolts.
Balls, yeah.
Yeah, I have a right of entry agreement from the property owner, and then the 2 public properties are parks, which if we, since now that they're closed and they're under renovation, it's a good time to attack the spotted lanternfly so that we can reduce the population in that area there. If I need some kind of on-call, I have Viking Pest that I can communicate with.
But have you seen, I mean, I'm honest,
I have,
I'm not.
I've spotted.
You haven't? Okay, but I mean, there hasn't been an
I have
infestation
not.
like we've had.
Yeah, so they're in the nymph stage right now,
Okay.
but I did walk the property to find eggs
Okay.
on that property.
Thank you.
If memory serves me, and please correct me if I'm wrong, I thought the property owners on Bolts were going to be responsible for taking care of, were going to be
We
paying
have a
out
grant,
of pocket.
we have a grant
No,
on
but
it.
because I have the grant, we were using grant.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah,
well, I didn't.
we secured
It
a
happens.
$20,000
I guess when
grant.
it's finished, then we'll have to pay.
Okay.
Okay, shall we move on?
Okay, we can move on. Okay. Item number 11.
Except the first one, right? First item we
155.
vote already, right?
Number 155.
Yeah, one's out, but I'd like to call them individually.
We did that one already.
We already, yes, okay. We're gonna, so I want to do this all item, the single item, anybody has removed from this consent agenda. I'm gonna to do that all single one motion. Anybody has
Can you do them one at a time, please?
one of a time? One
Yes,
of,
sir.
well, okay. You want it
Number
one by one?
124
Anything you-
I believe,
Yeah, he
I
went
believe
one by
one
one.
councilman
Well, I think
requested.
the bylaws say if
Yeah,
one
the
person
bys- yeah.
requests, you request it. If
You have to-
you're
you have to break it
reasonable,
up.
If you wanna know, I think that I'd like to know about the bottom story. That
Okay.
comes from the clerk.
What's the number?
What, 155, what do you mean, it just says JJ bottom story clerk, what does that mean?
Oh, it's a liquor license.
This is a liquor license.
Liquor license.
So can anybody fill us in, cause I hear rumors out around about how this establishment did something and their flyer system wasn't working.
Oh.
Can someone fill me in on that?
For, we don't know.
I don't know.
Why they
You
did
know
not
about
renew the license?
I don't know.
Tax clearance certificate.
You see,
What?
What
they
happened?
did
They
not
didn't
have
have a tax clearance certificate.
That's
liquor
why.
license.
the liquor license.
That's why it was delayed to this month.
No, but I
The other
heard
part
like
I
2
don't
months ago, they were doing work on their fire panel, and they were open, and there was an issue, and that the fire department went there, and their fire panel was not working. And they actually had to post somebody there, like a fire watch. No one's aware of this?
No.
Okay.
I'm
And
not.
so, yeah,
Simply?
so our construction code official passed that because they did do the repair. So we had to do a fire watch overnight, which unfortunately we don't have in our code, the ability for us to charge for that. I'll make sure that we change that,
We're
when
gonna
we
put it in.
get around to it. But the other thing is that, Gino and I have been in contact, and he was in contact with the fire department. So they have, applied for the permit, had their inspections, and the permit was closed out for the repair that they needed to make.
This was
Okay,
a while ago.
so were they fined for creating a life hazard by having the restaurant open and still serving customers while they knowingly had their panel down?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay, that's what I wanted to be clear on. So, let's see, Arthur, David, that's good, food truck's good, lead thing, just.
So they're compliant now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd like to pull 163, unless the mayor wants to give us, since his name is after it. The reason why we've added Dasty to this bill, because we've been holding up Dasty's bill, because he actually has done absolutely nothing for us. And him joining in on letters that come after Mr. Yellen, that we've paid significantly more money.
No, this one is before joining.
Wait. Just to have him respond to the same thing that Mr. Yellen just responded to, and then charge us $4,000 for a letter. Now the mayor's suggesting that we pay them, and it's like $20,000.
Let the mayor explain.
I have to finish my question first, don't I? Oh, mackerel.
Question is too long.
Mr. Mayor?
Mr. Mayor, would you like to explain?
Yes, this one is already before joining about the Mike Yalin. He did already job, a bunch of job. So that's why I have to pay this bill.
This is from January.
Can you tell me, because I know the bunch of jobs that he did, and sending us a letter when the appeals court sends down an order is really not doing much work for us.
I thought he was fired.
Mr.
The last mayor.
This is from January.
Excuse me. Mr. Mensch had already informed us of it, and then Mr. Dasty sends a letter right after that informing us of the same information that another attorney already informed us of. So I'd like to know, since you're making the recommendation, you should have a list of what equals that $20,000 and why we're paying them. I mean, to be, and I don't mean it disrespectfully, but your name's on it, and we've been
This is
holding it,
before you-
because this attorney has done absolutely nothing. Even the letter that he sent to the appellate court was found deficient. So why are we gonna pay an attorney that charges $4,000 for a letter that the court said was deficient, and then we have to pay another attorney to do the letter over? So I'm just trying to understand your recommendation.
This bill is from January, before we had Yellen.
Yeah.
No, it's.
Because joining
So you
the
know
Mike
that? So
Mike
you know.
Yalin.
The mayor said you
No,
know. So
I
this
looked
letter-
at the
show me where it's
bill,
from
the
January.
date of
Where's
the
the
bill was
date?
January.
Where's the
Where
date?
is where the bills? I looked at it. The
You
thing
said
was
January.
January, yes.
It's mayor's name is on it, I'm just
It's
asking.
January.
That one
Before
I'd like-
Yellen.
Before
Let's
Yellen,
finish,
as far as I
That one
understand,
I would
before
like- no,
Yellen.
I'd like him to take us to court like we do with every other attorney that you say hasn't done anything for us, okay? As far as I'm concerned, this gentleman has done absolutely nothing. He's sent letters that were deficient.
We can
Every
vote.
single thing that he's done has been inadequate. I would do like we did before and say, you know what, let's go back to him and say, you're a big fan of this. Go back to him and say, you know what, we'll settle with you for $10,000, right? You've done this before. You sat in that room and said, okay, why don't we do that? Why are we just settling for something because, he's requesting it? He's done it. We've held his bill every month because we felt he's been deficient. Now all of a sudden, for some reason, his deficiency has gone up in smoke. And we're just gonna pay him.
It's, I mean, honestly, it is an ongoing issue because when we are dissatisfied with certain attorneys and we pull it from the bill list, it always ends up appearing on the next bill list without, and then we may miss it, and then we vote it, and then we end up paying it, even though we didn't want to, because it was originally pulled. So it is an ongoing issue. Maybe there should be a resolution that's made that once a bill is pulled at a council meeting, that it remains unpaid and not be on any approved bill list until, it's addressed individually.
So here is individual.
I'll second that motion.
It's dressed
Sorry, here.
individually.
Well, then it go to the legal committee
So
for review.
Go.
just as an aside, I don't know specifically, so I think most of the bills that are here, I believe, are bills that are, now older, so I don't know off the top of my head whether they're from January, February, March, or April.
Right.
But as a, just as a big picture matter, I just have two comments to offer. So one, I think that if you were going to pull bills, well, obviously attorneys seem to be the most common, but whether it's engineering bills or attorney bills or professional bills, I think one of the problems that I, having sat up here, see is that sometimes there'll be a concern. We'll use Jerry as the example because that's what we're talking about. So the concern is, okay, we have a concern about the bill. It gets pulled, but it's not clear from the comments at the dais as to either, so because what the action is supposed to be. So is the action, as we talked about, is the action to direct somebody to say, hey, pull Jerry's bills and we want, say, my office to go through them in more detail, right? Or is it we want to negotiate a lower bill? Or is it we have a problem with, like, I don't know what's on here, but let's say, we're okay paying the money that was pre-Yellen, but we have concerns about post-Yellen money. So one, I think that the problem that happens is your point, right? Bills get paid and get put back on. It's not clear what the council wants to do. Sometimes it's because somebody says they haven't had a chance to review them, so they're pulled for review.
Right.
Whether that's, always, whatever, right?
You had to settle
But-
an agreement.
But the other, just, keep in mind, right? I mean, and, if you're a
You don't want to
professional,
you don't want to pull bills, but I mean, if we pull a bill, I think I've come to realize that it's a serious issue. No.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, it's a serious
that's
issue
what it
pulling a
should be,
bill.
yes.
Pulling a
And-
bill
and
is
that's
a
what it
serious
should be.
issue.
So,
Yeah.
Attorneys are conflicted, come on.
So-
Everyone wants to pull.
I think
Right.
if we pull a
Well,
bill, then it should be put up for payment at the next meeting, but the committee who's in charge of that should investigate it and update the council at that next meeting.
But
When
right,
you
and it's-
pull a bill, you have to have a reason why you're pulling the bill, okay? And the reason should be on the bill, so you don't forget why you pulled it. And
Here
then
I
you
said
start
every
again.
month, every month that I made the recommendation to pull his bill is because I don't think he's been effective counsel. I don't know how much clearer it could be. Everything he's done for us, he's done it like half-assed
We
backwards.
paid a lot of attorneys that were not
But-
effective, okay?
But-
And we
So
paid.
do you wait, you see, here's what you do. You want me to answer one question.
I know, and I'm
then you wanna
answering you.
Jump out and say how it's
Exactly.
everybody else. I'm not answering about everybody else. You asked a specific question
Yes,
of
and-
why I
and-
would like this bill pulled. Because he's been ineffective, and
Like I said.
everything he does that I view is that someone Matt gives us an update, and a couple days later,
Then-
Mr. Dasty sends us the same exact damn thing and wants to bill us for it.
Well,
I don't
well,
see that's being
So,
right.
so again, and I just, one problem that, when you have multiple attorneys on things, right? Because when I send, to your point, right, I send something.
I agree, the attorney has to advise. you.
Right, so, but like, so I don't
This is
necessarily.
your advice,
well,
he
but-
don't need to send us
Well,
advice.
but he may not always, like, I may not copy him on stuff, so if he goes and does it because, hey, an order comes in, I send it to you, I have to do it first, and then Jerry sends it, then somebody else sends it, you get 3 times, 3 different attorneys, but the other thing to keep in mind is that, and attorneys get paid in general for their time. Right? So
all they
if, right, meaning if somebody does not the best job, right, you can terminate their services. But, if I send out a letter that's filled with typos and is a bad letter, which hopefully I don't do often, if at all. But the point is that theoretically, I still get paid. You might say, we're not gonna hire you anymore and we're gonna move on from you. And, I don't guarantee results, right? I go to court, sometimes I win, hopefully more often than I lose, but you don't guarantee results. So, yeah, but my point is on this one, I think I think this is the last bill from Jerry. I think that, it should have to be, right? I think you, if I think you should pay it, but if you're not gonna pay it, then I think you need to give clear direction on what the action item is, in terms of, are you pulling it and you wanna negotiate? Are you pulling it because you have questions with items? Are you pulling it, and you're just not gonna pay it? Just otherwise it's gonna pop up on the next month, because he's gonna come back, he's gonna call us and say,
This is not being pulled. I converted this to a resolution so that there could be a council vote on the resolution.
So
Whether it
it's here to
fails
vote.
or it passes, that's the message that.
right.
I mean,
Jerry, this is for the bills in January and February, right? I
yeah,
believe
so
before,
it's
yeah.
90,000 what you billed us for. It's
I understand,
990
but
for June
it was
and
our
for
mistake for
July.
hiring
I'll
him.
make a motion,
What?
what?
No.
I'll make a motion to accept the consent agenda except for 154, which we already did. We'll vote on Dasty separately, which I think my reasoning would be to pull him and take a haircut. Okay? Maybe, yes, I agree with you, attorneys, all they have is their time to bill, but look at it and we'll see about a haircut. I think it should be 0, personally. But I'm only one, like, I'm only one vote, but I think he needs to come back with something I personally think is good and effective. Next, I think I know we had talked about this, the 165. I just wanna make sure that 165, we can do it separately, but I just wanna make sure that that was revised
Yes,
in closed
correct.
session by the comments that were made to us, so I would ask that we take 165 out, Dasty 163, and everything else in my motion, we could take it as a consent agenda.
So it would be a motion to approve 24-155 through 24-162,
Correct.
24-164, 24-166.
Yes, sir.
So
That's the motion,
That's my motion.
and that's been a motion.
Second that.
What would that's the bill? What you?
It's separate, that's
Separate.
separate, that right
It's
now.
voted separately.
What?
Right.
No,
Right, but that's it. All right, so that's the motion, it's been
You don't
seconded.
need my vote.
So it's been motioned and seconded, so
Second, Melanie.
if there's any more,
I seconded it, yes.
if there's any more discussion on those items, then you could have it, otherwise you could go a roll call vote.
Okay, roll call, please.
Member Liang?
Yes.
Member Begats?
Yes.
Member Kim?
Yes.
Member Di Gregorio?
Yes,
Member Simon?
Yes.
Member Luciano?
Okay, then
Don't
this
we vote on it?
24-163, we need
I make a
individual
motion
vote,
to
right?
table 163 with the recommendation that our borough attorney speak to him about negotiating a separate rate. A separate settlement, not a
163.
rate, but a separate total of his bill. Yeah, 163,
Okay, I
that's,
thought you said
One.
153,
I'm sorry, 63, that's 163.
163.
I second that.
Table it?
That's a motion to table, yes, and
No.
you have a second.
Okay,
No,
roll
but
call.
we have to do something with
I
it. You
made
cannot
a
just
suggestion.
table.
Let's vote.
Matt,
Let's vote.
Matt, you have
Table,
your
just
own attorney, so
any
you don't-
table,
Member,
table
with
the
the
table
reason.
is.
I gave him the reason, we're tabling it so that he can go back and negotiate a different settlement.
Maybe,
Okay.
Member,
Just vote.
Member Liang?
No.
No to table. Member Begats?
Yes, to table. Negotiate.
Member Kim?
Yes.
Member Di Gregorio?
yes,
Member Simon?
Yes.
Member Luciano?
Aye.
Okay,
Passed.
passed.
Whoever wants to
And
address the
then-
165 revision,
Yes, we did it.
No, 165.
Huh?
I can do it, Mayor, if you want.
Okay,
I'm sorry?
Yeah, I think the public.
there was a revision.
There was a revision on,
You got
165.
3 months with a report.
Yeah.
So,
I just wanna be clear so it
So
doesn't come out
That
wrong.
we're voting on exactly, and that the public knows as well.
Resolution 165 would be a resolution appointing an acting assistant borough administrator. The intent for the acting assistant borough administrator would be that the first 3 months, her salary would increase from $58,900 to $75,000. And every week, when I provide my report, I would also provide a separate section of what the acting assistant borough administrator and I worked on and were effective with. And then in October of this year, October meeting, I don't know the date, I'm sorry, I would come back to either report that it has worked out or report that it has not worked out.
In that serve your purpose for the revision,
The-
the language.
No,
I believe the appointment is only for
What
3
the
months, right?
original-
The
Three
tr-
months.
3 months, yes,
Yeah, 3
yeah.
months. Okay.
What we originally got was different than what we had finally.
Yeah, we discussed.
resolved. I just wanted to make sure we
Yes.
took this stated in public.
So,
That's
so
what it was.
you feel comfortable that kind of revision serves the purpose?
Well, I just wanna make sure that what was discussed in the other room came out. I'm not comfortable with it, but
I
I just
wanted to
wanna make sure that
articulate
the
that.
information
Yeah.
came out.
Okay, I need a motion.
Articulate the best I could.
Thank you, sir.
Motion, motion.
Yeah, the second.
Chris, you asked a question, right?
I believe he answered it. It's a 3-month
I need a
appointment.
second,
yes.
yes, already.
That's the acting.
David,
part.
Yes.
David did the motion and the second.
Motion.
Anyone second?
Second.
Yeah,
Second? Yeah.
yeah. Okay, roll call, please.
Member Liang?
Yes.
Member Begets?
Yes.
Member Kim?
Yes.
Member Di Gregorio?
Yes,
Member Simon?
Abstain.
Member Luciano?
Okay, now adoption of ordinance, okay. I need a motion to open for the public hearing on ordinance 24-09.
So moved.
Second.
Okay,
Seeing no one
any,
here, Mayor, to
no one
make a
here?
motion to close it. Oh, I'm sorry. I
Oh, the- on the-
apologize. I
on the-
forgot about,
Can always get rid of
I'm
them.
used to regular meetings.
No.
No one seeing, and we can close. Okay, motion and the second to close the public hearing.
Is this something going forward, Mr. Rosario? Is this for the new Riverside Co-op,
Yeah.
not for something that we own?
No, this year's. This year's, yes, this year.
You know what I mean.
2-4, I do.
Okay,
I
thank
do.
you.
I need a,
Unfortunately, exactly.
yeah, I need a motion and second.
Motion.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Roll
Fine, yeah.
Oh, this is what, roll call, this one is all, okay, it's roll call, please. It's in the
Open and close, yeah.
24-09.
And it requires a supermajority because it's a,
Are we voting?
Yes.
I thought
roll
it was
call.
just public hearing.
Roll call,
Yes.
That was,
that's
we just
done, we
opened
did
and
it.
closed the public
Okay.
hearing, now we're gonna make a roll call vote for the motion. Whoever made the motion, I
I don't know who made a motion
I
and
think
second.
Liang made the motion.
I mean, second.
don't know. Okay.
You
Someone
seconded,
made-
who motioned it?
Wasn't me.
Yeah.
David made it.
David,
David,
Oh,
David did it.
I did not, I didn't.
Oh, I did, okay, so Riverside Co-op, I'll make the motion if you.
I thought you said,
I
I
thought you
think.
did, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
fine.
yeah,
I'll take
yeah.
credit for it.
Right, who made a motion, who seconded? David?
Councilman
made a motion,
Luciano
and
and
Liang,
Councilman
all right.
Liang,
Member Liang?
Yes.
Member Begets?
Yes.
Member Kim?
yes.
Member Di Gregorio?
Yes,
Member Simon?
Yes.
Member Luciano?
Aye.
so, okay, we passed it, right?
Make a motion to open for a public hearing on 24/10.
Oh, okay, just a second, okay.
motion,
A motion to open to the public hearing on the ordinance 24-.
motion,
Okay, I need a motion, okay, David.
motion.
You made a motion.
Second.
I thought you
I think
already,
David's sleep talking.
yeah. Didn't you just, you did it, right?
It's all right, just
Okay.
go.
He can
Just,
motion and second,
Okay.
it's fine.
Okay, then I need a motion and a second to close the.
just make sure,
No, no, no,
nobody
no,
from the
no.
public, nobody from the
See,
public.
public.
No one raising
Oh,
their
okay,
hand,
public,
make a
okay.
motion to close the meeting.
No, no,
Please, just
open
let
to
them
the
do
public.
this.
Okay,
But the-
open to the public,
Just let the mayor call them,
Now we do
call, to run the meeting.
open to the public, I need a motion and a second,
Motion, motion.
second, okay,
To open or to close?
okay,
Doesn't matter.
okay, doesn't matter about it,
Okay.
okay.
Doesn't matter.
Can we do adoption now?
No, we have to close,
I thought we just did.
I think we've opened and closed about 3 times.
I think
No,
so.
nobody from the public has, there's no one here, nobody online has raised a hand.
Okay. so we
I do
adopt.
believe we've opened and closed, and we've
Yeah.
given the public an opportunity to speak, they haven't
Okay.
spoken.
Okay.
So now we do it for adoption.
yeah, I need a motion and a second to adoption, the ordinance 24-10.
Motion.
Second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Member Liang?
Yes.
Member Begets?
Yes.
Member Kim?
Yes.
Member Di Gregorio?
Yes,
Member Simon?
Yes.
Member Luciano?
Present.
Okay, now, any committee member can do the committee report? Anybody?
No, 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 no,
It's
Ms. Geiger has a report. Ms. Geiger has a report.
Ms. Geiger, okay, go ahead.
Unmute, you gotta unmute.
We want to be recognized.
Okay. Hello, I'm on, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, Ms. Geiger.
On the Affordable Housing Committee, I just want to talk about a few things. One, at the last meeting, I suggested that the council look for and hire a municipal land use attorney. We don't have one that's guiding the borough at this point. And given the requirements of the new state law, it would be helpful to have guidance from an attorney, not just Mr. Mistretta, who is not an attorney. And this was, the old committee agreed unanimously with that. I understand the conservation community is doing some analysis right now. And I hope that they will have their measurements done in the near future. The issue that troubles me is what's happened with the TWA. As I mentioned at the last meeting, I got involved because at the Affordable Housing Committee meeting, Mr. Mistretta was concerned that failure to get the TWA resolved for 9W and Hudson Terrace might endanger in excess of $1 million in funding that the borough required so that taxpayers wouldn't have to foot the bill for any deficits in the financing. As I looked into this particular problem, I found out that the state was not the issue, even though months and months and months had gone by, and repeatedly Boswell had told us they were waiting for the state to respond. In effect, they hadn't. And when I contacted the state, things started to move. And ultimately this week, we learned that they don't need an approval from the state. They require a county approval because the road they're accessing is County Route 505, which is under the jurisdiction of Bergen County and not the state. So basically, because no one took the time to look at where they were accessing 9W and Hudson Terrace, they submitted the wrong streets to the state. And nothing happened. And 9 months have gone by that we've lost. In the meantime, we all know what's happening with the rest of the town. I'm just giving this information to you as information. I believe at this point that that the sewer company is going to the county for the permission. I gave them the website and the people to contact. But it really is ridiculous that a resident should have to get involved and not the consultants that we hire specifically to do this job. Anyway, that's my committee report.
Okay, thank you so much.
One more thing. As a committee, I understand that documents have been sent to Judge Gallipoli but the committee has seen nothing. So if you're going to have a committee that's going to work on things and hopefully bring them or help the council bring them to a successful end, you have to involve the committee in all ends that matter in getting this resolved. So you just can't say we're going to take care of it and then not inform the committee as to what you're doing or what the resolution is.
Does anybody know what she's talking about?
Yes, I do.
Mr. Mensch,
I have no idea.
Mr. Mensch, is there a way of making Ms. Geiger, giving her more access? How would we do that legally?
Can she be the governor?
Well,
You have to run against Mario.
So certainly, as a general matter, if the Affordable Housing Committee wants to have more information on, pending land use matters in general, we can provide the Affordable Housing Committee with that. What Mr. Geiger is referring to is the 900 Sylvan application which is, as you, I think you all know, it's in the overlay zone, which means the developer has a choice of going in front of either the planning board or the special master. They've chosen the special master. Originally, the special master had set dates for next week for a hearing on the site plan, and that, collectively, your planner, Mr. Mistretta, and my office objected because he was shortcutting the process. Normally, basically our read on what the consent order, what your order requires is that basically the special master can stand in place of the planning board, but the process still has to play out generally as is. So there's fees that have to be paid to the borough, review fees, escrows, all that kind of stuff. And there's also the normal process is when somebody submits an application, the first step is that your engineers, your architect, your staff reviews it for completeness. They do a completeness review to say, is what they submitted, do we have everything that we need to review the application substantively? Here, there is vacancies in what was submitted by 900 Sylvan's, the 900 Sylvan developer. So Judge Gallipoli turned the original hearing dates into essentially a hearing. Are going to get together on Monday to go over, hey, here's what's been submitted. Here's what the borough thinks you still need. You haven't done the following 7 items. The developer is going to say, yeah, we agree that we didn't do them, and here's how much time we need to respond to it. Or they're going to say, well, we don't think we need it. And then Judge Gallipoli, if there's an issue, Judge Gallipoli will say, here's how we do it. And then they will schedule some sort of next steps. We don't know what kind of schedule.
Matt, other than what you said, I don't think we've sent any. She's asking for
Sent. We've sent letters. Your engineer and your planner have sent letters to Judge Gallipoli to say the application is incomplete and the current, you can't just have hearings until we actually have all of the information and your professionals are able to weigh in substantively on the application. So, planner or not planning board?
From my planner of the planning board?
Yeah, your planner, your borough planner, Mike Mistretta.
Through the planning?
No.
Through us?
Well, the planner. Just through the planner. Your planner is your borough planner.
Straight up.
In all fairness, all of what we're just talking about, and
Right.
what was reported on.
Right.
But the
is
special
first time
master
I'm
is
hearing
supposed
any
to-
of this.
Yeah, that's possible. This is correct. This is right. So this is right now. This is a scheduling, just as a general matter, right? None of you are typically involved in a completeness review of applications in front of the planning board or the zoning board. So that's what's happening right now is a scheduling discussion and a completeness review with Judge Gallipoli and the developer to go over what's the schedule, what's needed still to move the application forward. Once the borough gets all of that, then the planner will be able to review it, the engineer will be able to review it, the borough's traffic engineer will be able to review all of that and issue reports, just like you would for any application that will go in front of Judge Gallipoli. After Monday, we'll also have a better idea of the schedule and the process. The Chaffee application, so this is the first application that's going in front of Gallipoli, since that, other than 800 Sylvan, since the settlement was entered. So with Chaffee, a lot of the discussion that was being had with your professionals and with Judge Gallipoli and that applicant was process-based. What's the process? Who's presenting? What are the time schedules? That's what we're doing now with Judge Gallipoli.
So, question, what did they gain by going directly to Judge Gallipoli while they have to do everything with the planning board?
Well, yeah, so the reason, one, they may hope that Judge Gallipoli, because there's some leeway, so Judge Gallipoli could potentially shorten things or he could change the process. It's not, our position is that the process should play out as close as possible to the MLUL, the normal process as possible. this is not subject to litigation like Andrew and Sullivan, so our position is all, and just, Gallipoli has some discretion on that. The big issue is the reason that they set up the process is because obviously, given some of the history, this is a way, so if an applicant doesn't trust that the planning board is gonna act in good faith as a decision maker, Judge Gallipoli obviously is the independent decision maker, so he gets to approve or deny the application, and so if you're a developer, you can decide, essentially, do I think I'm gonna get a better result in front of the planning board or a better result in front of the special master, and then decide where you wanna go. They've decided that it's they think they're gonna have a better process or a better hearing or a better result in front of Judge Gallipoli.
But to me,
But I guess
to me, it sounded like we're making up because we're in front of a special master and not following the typical process, like you would go in front of a planning board, that they're kind of making up the process as we go along.
That's correct.
And that's the most uncomfortable thing that I have experienced in government.
That's
You can't make it up as you go
right,
along.
and that's what the issue was that we raised
Right.
with regard to that, because to say, hey, wait, you can't, before you schedule hearings, you can't just schedule hearings, we need to have a completeness review, we need to have reports. The engineer's gonna have to say, hey, we're concerned about this flooding issue here, there's a concern about this, they're gonna look at, all the details of the plans.
The prelude to that is
Right.
that Gallipoli made the decision in the overlay zone, is that he gave the applicants, all applicants of affordable housing in the overlay zone, the option of being able to even go to the planning board.
Correct.
To answer your question was originally, is that they have the option based on our history and having a special master. that
Correct.
They can go either here or there.
Correct.
So that's really where that
That's,
came from.
that's correct, and so that's where we are right now. Right now, there's no substantive positions taken in terms of like, this is not a, and just as an aside, this is a site plan review, so meaning it's an approved use in the zone. The question is on the normal site plan thing. So at some point in time, Judge Gallipoli will hear testimony and, from various professionals over things like, what does the buffer look like? Is the traffic circulation on the site, properly, consistent? It's,
All the things
think
that
so.
the planning board does, right?
That's
Right.
what I heard.
right.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's what has been submitted to Judge Gallipoli has been, letters detailing what is deficient, what has not yet been included in the application, which needs to be.
Who's the applicant?
It's whoever was here, months ago. Silverman.
The World Trade Center people. I can't remember the name of their company.
Yeah, this is the one that,
This is the one that wanted to have the meeting with the mayor.
correct, and then they decided to do that.
Just have a question, Mr. Chris, who did you, the resolution for the Affordable Housing Committee, who's on that now? That we just voted tonight?
Myself, Ms. Karen Geiger, and Councilman Di Gregorio.
Okay, I'd like to introduce a resolution, please, to amend your resolution.
A motion?
Yes, a motion, please. I would like to appoint Mr. Kim, Mr. Di Gregorio, Councilwoman Begets, and Councilman Luciano to that committee.
In addition to,
And no, that.
wait, what's it? I'm sorry?
No, you can't have four.
You can't have four.
Because then it's a violation, sorry. Take off, Council.
Off the committee?
Yeah, that's
What?
all right.
Off the committee?
I'm happy to be off of it
After you get all your reports?
Yeah.
Why?
because.
Because we want your money.
I think you're not on mute, Karen.
Yeah, I
Okay,
know.
so I'm sorry, you're right,
Yeah, just.
You're not on mute, Karen. We could hear over here.
So let it be
Move the gas, take off,
Chris,
go.
David, and Rivka. Sorry to
I'll
call you by
second
your
it.
first name.
It'll be limited to just us
You
three
three.
council
Yep.
persons.
We council people.
And you don't have to worry about attorney-client privilege, same thing that David and I worried about last year that he violated, so.
Who is currently on this committee?
Ms. Geiger, Councilman Kim, and Councilman Di Gregorio. Sorry, I don't mean to, I know you asked him and I apologize, but that's who it is.
And the new member we nominate, you,
Councilwoman
Councilman Rivka?
Begets and Councilman DeGargo. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, Chris, I don't mean to speak for that.
Yes,
It's okay, it's okay.
He's asking you and I'm answering, so I apologize.
B. DiGregorio, Councilman Kim, and Councilman,
That's it.
Big Gats. I'm sorry.
So
I'm
have
referring
a
to you.
motion. My motion on
You have a
that.
motion,
Okay.
you have a
The
second.
second,
Who seconded
I
it?
seconded it.
Okay.
Second.
roll call, please.
Member Liang,
That's tough one, huh?
Abstain.
Ooh, you didn't wanna vote for it. Mark that down.
Member Begats,
Yes.
Member Kim,
Yes.
Member Di Gregorio,
No,
Member Simon,
Oh, yes.
Member Luciano.
An emphatic yes.
That passes.
The committee is now changed.
Okay,
Motion
motion adjourn.
Unless
Yeah,
Matt has anything for us.
yeah, I need a motion to adjourn.
I'm at Dykoff, I'm done.
The second, second, all in favor? All in favor?
All in favor?
Okay, good night, everybody, good night.
It's all fake sugar. It's all fake sugar. It's all the chemicals.
Yeah, 11.